Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. I wanted to go over something that I've been wanting to learn for a really long time and just have not found anything that was really helpful or worth my while, and that's using order flow to assist in taking your trade setups, whatever trade setups you are taking, whether they're something that you always trade or something new. And it's definitely, like, if you're using time and sales, it's very challenging for most people to learn to use the order flow to time it with your trades. In other words, knowing where the buyers are stepping up, the sellers are stepping up, and wouldn't it be great to know that before taking your trade or while you're taking your trade, as opposed to you take a buy and as soon as you get in, the sellers step in and price comes down and stop you out, or vice versa. So I have a friend named Maria Russos who is a really talented trader, and she has come up with some tools. She had a programmer program it for her. There are actually a few tools, and it's taken her a couple years to develop it, and she was kind enough to let me try it out and mess with it and use it in conjunction with my setups, and it has helped tremendously in knowing how the order flow works. So I'm going to show you some things from Friday and how I'm using it. There are many different ways that you can use it, and hopefully you find it helpful. If you want any information on the indicator, now you guys know that I don't push anything. I don't try to sell anybody else's indicators or products or anything. There are just a handful of things that I will promote, one of them being the Spreadsheet Trade Journal, another one being Dan from Integrity Traders indicators that he programmed specifically for us, for our three amigos, and now Maria Russo's setup, not setups, because they're not setups. It's actually a tool. It's not going to tell you when to take a setup. It's going to assist you in taking your setups. So anyway, I hope you find it really helpful. Okay, so this is a 2-minute chart, and the tools that Maria has developed are for Ninja charts. So unfortunately, if you're not using Ninja, you won't be able to use them, but you can do like me and just use the the demo in Ninja, and you'll be fine. You can still use the tools, and it has many bells and whistles. And over here to the left, you can see this histogram here, and by looking at the histogram, the green represents the buying at that price level, and the red represents the selling at that price level. These bars here, like I said, let me just make them a little bit wider here. This is a 2-minute chart. As I said, you can put it on range charts, tick charts, time-based chart, anytime, whatever you like, because all we're interested in is the order flow, the buyers on the right and the sellers on the left. And she has many different ways that you can view the bids and asks. This is the one that seems to work well for me in catching my eye. And then down here, she also has the options to add some of the columns or take away some of the columns. So if you didn't need all of the info down here, the delta, cumulative delta, volume ratio, volume, etc., you can always delete whatever one you don't want. Just everything is customizable based on what you like to see. It'll also draw the pivot points, the high, low, close, value areas. There's just so much that her tools will do. And like I said, it's not a setup per se. It's to assist you in the setups you're already taking. So I'll just give you an example here on how we could use it. So here is Friday. So let's just look at Friday. This is 9:35. On the right is my chart, and it's a Sierra chart on the right, because I couldn't get my high, low, and close to draw on my Ninja chart. So I'll just use the Sierra chart. So here at 9:35, as we're actually breaking out of the 5-minute high area, we get a counter channel set up at 9:35. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the buyers to step up as I'm trying to buy here in this area where we've previously held 5-minute high. As you can see, it hit here, it hit here. So what would make this any different? Why should I take this trade? How do I know it's not going to roll over? Well, if you're not watching the order flow, you really don't know. You're waiting for price to get above this area and then look to take it. But in using the order flow, this bar here, where I've got this yellow arrow drawn here above and to the left, this is the bar that's forming as we're getting this buy set up. And this is a delta down here. And you'll notice it's green here, and then it's red showing you minus 52, and then green with 1,086, 778, 313, etc. And what that's telling us is that is giving us the difference between the number of bids and the number of asks. So if we have more buyers than sellers, this is going to show as a positive number. If we have more sellers than buyers, as here, it's going to show as a negative number. So by looking at that, you'll be able to see, okay, well, if I take this buy right here, and it's at 87.25 would be the entry above this bar here for a counter channel setup. If I take this buy here, I can look here and I can see all the buyers stepping up. Now normally what you'd expect to see if this was going to hold at resistance is you would actually see the buyers going up into resistance, and then you would see the sellers step in. So you'd see some heavy buying and then the sellers step in. And we don't see that here. You can see on the right side are the buyers, and you can see all these bold numbers here as opposed to on the left side where we have the bold here with the sellers. So here, looking at the delta, we've got a positive delta. We've got the buyers stepping up, and also if you look over here, you can see that we have a setup where we're looking to take it. So you look to get in, and then the next bar, as it's forming, let me just slide this down here, you can see we still have the buyers stepping in. So normally, coming into the close of the previous day, this is the close right above us from Thursday. This is Friday's chart that we're looking at. So normally you'd say, okay, do I have enough room up to that to take my entry? And we do. So you take your entry, and a lot of times, you know, we'll use a trailing stop, or if we're coming into an area where we expect price to hold, we may just use that as our target area. But in looking at this 2-minute chart here, we can see as we're in this trade that we still have a bunch of buyers stepping up in here. So you could stay in that trade getting through this 90.50 area, which works out to be 90.50 is right around here, right where the close is here. I drew this line here on this ninja chart. So right where this yellow horizontal line is, that's where the close is. So instead of getting out right in that area, expecting it to hold, when you see all the buyers stepping in, you can now hold on to it and trail it. And so you're thinking you're going to trail it, you're going to trail it, so it's moving higher, 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 and you can still trail it using the super trend stop or the moving average, whatever your favorite way to trail is. But now we can see that we've got the sellers stepping up in this area. You can see as this is forming, this will be moving, obviously, and you'll see the buyers on the right, sellers on the left. So now you can see on the left-hand side, all these numbers on the left, we have more bold numbers on the left where the sellers are. Our delta is negative, so that's telling us we have more sellers than buyers. So now you would likely, oops, let me just bring that chart back up. So now you would likely either tighten your stop, or you can trail it a little bit closer, whatever you typically do for your method of trailing. So you can see here the sellers step up, negative delta. We have lots of sellers here, negative delta, negative delta. So realistically, you probably, trailed your stop up to this area here once you saw the seller step in. And again, there's no right or wrong way. Let me just go ahead and make this stay on top. There's no right or wrong way to trade. It's just whatever works for you. And so, like I said, wouldn't it be great to know ahead of time that you're taking a buy in a resistance area and you don't have to worry about the sellers because you're looking at it right here on this order flow chart. And I mean, there's so much to go over from Friday. I don't want to make a really long video, but I'll do some more this week. So for now, I'll go over one more, and then if you have any questions or if you're interested in Maria's tools, just contact me, send me an email, go to my website, www.easy-trade, and then go to the Contact Us page and just shoot me an email, and then I can forward it on to Maria. This way she won't be bombarded all at one time. And if you're somebody who will use price levels such as floor trader pivot points or fib numbers or just regular support and resistance that you drew yourself, and you like to take a pullback off of those areas, another great way to use the order flow chart. You can see here we've got resistance on my chart on the right at 96.25. You can see it holds here, and then we come back up and we retest it here. And if you look over here on this order flow chart, this is the bar that's forming right here. Let me just put an arrow there so you can see which one it is. This is the bar that's forming. And you can see here we get the sellers stepping up on the bar before. This is a 2-minute chart, don't forget. But then it's pushed right back up into that resistance area again. But we have a whole lot of sellers coming in here. You can see it right here. And you can see the negative delta, and so you could take that short off of that resistance area, or buy off the support area. Same thing, you would be looking for buyers. Let's see where that is. Okay, so that would actually be right here. Let me just change this to the pointer. So that would actually be right here. So at the time when this is forming, you'll be able to see, it'll show here like in this, you'll have like an action bar that's forming here at the right side here at as it's forming real time. But realistically here, when you had the negative delta here forming, you likely wouldn't have tried to buy that here because you have all the sellers coming up here, and so they're selling into that support area, which you have to remember, just because you have buy orders coming in doesn't mean that everybody is long the market, or if you have sellers, they're not short the market. If you have a long, once you buy, you automatically become a seller, because now at some point you're going to want to sell your position. When you short, once you're in the trade, you now become a buyer. So all these people are selling here into that support area, realistically covering their shorts. So if you saw a lot of sellers coming in and then you saw a lot of buyers step in, then that would be a place to buy off support if you're somebody who trades that way. And many order flow traders, that's what they do. But I'm looking at it to confirm my entries that I want to take. I'm not looking at buying at support, selling at resistance, unless it's an area that's held a couple times. That's just the way I trade. But there's nothing wrong with being a price level trader. If it works for you, great. So here's a short, and by the way, I forgot to mention this is the NQ. You could use it on anything that you trade, but here's the NQ, and let me just make that an arrow. So we get a counter channel set up here at 10:04, and this is the order flow bar that's forming at that time right here, this big long one here. This is the entry price right here at 94.25 if you use the method of getting in under the bar that's setting up on this range chart. When you look here at the delta, you can see it's negative. It's not a large number, but you can see that it's still negative. And in looking at our chart here, we can see that we've got support below at the previous day's close and also the 50% fib retracement area for regular trading hours. So likely seeing this negative, you take that and hope that you find your way down to support. Notice the next bar, you get big sellers stepping in here. Here on this bar, we get some buyers stepping in, but it still hasn't really pushed it higher. Next bar, sellers. So you're still in, waiting for your first target. You can see sellers. Let me just make this here. I just need to stretch that out a little bit so you can see here. So you can see sellers, big sellers here once it breaks the area of the previous day's close. Sellers. So you could realistically ride that by trailing your stop and just watching for the buyers to step in. Now, obviously, at some point, you're going to have buyers step in because the shorts are going to cover their positions. So you're going to get buyers step in. Even though you're moving lower, when you get to an area where you would expect a stall or a retracement, the market is an ebb and flow. Goes lower or higher and consolidates or pulls back, and then it can continue the move as Friday showed over and over again. So here you can see coming into an area of support here. This is the 50% retracement area at 79 and change. Actually got through the low of the previous day at 82, but when you look at 82 as it was forming, this is the bar that was forming when it hit 82. And you can see that coming into that 82 area, the previous day's low, we had some buyers stepping up. So that might have been an area where you might have also covered your short. Or if you trailed using your super trend stop here, you got stopped out at, way down here from your entry, way up here at 10.04. We also had a 3 Amigo that fired off here at 10.11 that did not trigger. But as the buyers are stepping up, you can see that the price is going to bounce a little bit. Doesn't mean it still can't go lower, obviously, once the sellers step back in, but depending on how you managed it, you got stopped out here on anything that you were trailing. But the order flow chart helped keep you in that trade. And then when you saw the buyers step up at the support area, again, you had a lot of sellers coming into that support area, and then the buyers picked up here. You can see plus here in the delta, 169, 130, and then sellers stepped up again. And you could have taken another short around that time, or waited till it got through, whatever setups you're trading. Somebody else might have, shorted off the pullback here, pulls back to the moving average and they take a short. Again, you can refer back to the order flow chart and see what's going on at that time at like 10:18 into the low of the previous day. So let's just see, 10:18. This is about the area that we're talking about right here, and we've got the buyers stepping up. So you see the buyers stepping up, you're probably not going to take a short. Hope that makes sense. And to be honest, I've still got so much to learn in the way of implementing it and feeling confident with it, but it's only been maybe 2 weeks now, and I just can't believe how much it's helped. And like I said, everything is customizable based on what you want to see on your chart. There's just so many bells and whistles, and she does a great job at giving the instructions for setting up your chart It also plots your value areas, your POC. I just can't say enough about it. It's really great. So again, if you want more information, just send me an email, and I'll do some more videos this week because, like I said, I could go on and on for Friday because there's just so much. Obviously, the market tanked on Friday, and I mean, you could have did really well no matter what you were using on Friday. So I hope that helps, and send me your emails with questions or wanting any information about the tools that Maria is offering. Oh, also, one of the tools that she gives you is for the market profile, and that'll set up on a separate chart or on whatever chart you're using to take your entries off of, but it'll plot the value areas, the high value areas, the first value areas, the POC, and then over here to the right, let me just change this here to the pointer. Over here to the right, you can see the volume bars here in the area of the price. And you can view that in all different ways. Like I said, there's like so many different ways that you can look at everything. All right, so that's enough for today. I hope you have a great day, and we will talk soon. Take care, you guys.